Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Welcome to the Chat GPT Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Each episode, we dive into the latest developments in the exciting field of artificial intelligence, exploring its applications and potential impacts on our daily lives. When people first start using ChatGPT, a question they come up a lot with are these answers it's giving me unique? Am I the only one getting these? Do they spit out the same response to the same question to multiple people? So on today's podcast, we are going to be diving into that, answering that question, and talking a little bit about ChatGPT and how it works. So the first thing to know is that, obviously ChatGPT is a state-of-the-art language model developed by OpenAI. It's capable of generating human-like text and engaging conversations. However, the question of whether the answers generated by ChatGPT are unique or not is a complex one with multiple factors to consider. First and foremost, it's important to understand that ChatGPT is trained on a massive amount of text data from a variety of sources all over the internet. This training data serves as a foundation for the model to understand language patterns and to generate responses. So as a result of this, the answers generated by ChatGPT can sometimes be similar to the text that it was originally trained on, especially if the input text is common or well-known. However, ChatGPT is designed to be highly flexible and capable of generating diverse responses. The model uses a deep learning architecture called the transformer network, which allows it to understand the context of the input and generate responses that are tailored to the specific context of the person asking. This means that even when the input text is similar, the model can generate different responses depending on the context. So if a question is asked slightly differently, the response is going to be a completely different response. Another factor that affects the uniqueness of ChatGPT's answers is the randomness introduced during the generation process. So the model uses a technique called sampling, where it selects the most likely continuation of the input text from a set of possibilities. The choice of which continuation to select is based on a probable distribution, which can introduce randomness into the process. This means that even if the input text is the exact same, so multiple people are asking the exact same question with the exact same text, the model may generate different responses every single time. It's also worth noting that ChatGPT is a highly advanced model, but it's not perfect. The model is only good at the data it was trained on. So it's going to generate responses that are inconsistent with reality sometimes, and even it might include biases or inaccuracies. To mitigate these issues, it's important to carefully look at all of the training data, all of the responses it's giving you, and to fact check all of those. So the answers generated by ChatGPT, in conclusion, I guess, to this whole question, is that it can be unique in many cases, but it also depends on various factors such as the text that is being asked, the input text, the context, and also the randomness introduced during the generation process. Despite its limitations, ChatGPT is a very powerful tool for generating human-like text and engaging in conversations, and its potential for creating unique and diverse responses make it a very valuable asset in virtually every field. You've been listening to the Chat GPT Podcast. Make sure to rate us wherever you listen to your podcasts and have a fantastic week.